The rain poured down like angry tears from the sky, turning the busy streets of Lagos into muddy rivers. Thunder boomed like a giant drum, and lightning flashed, lighting up the dark night. Amaka hurried home from her long day selling oranges at the market. Her clothes were soaked, and her feet splashed in puddles. She was tired, hungry, and alone in the world. At 22 years old, she lived in a tiny shack on the edge of the city, barely making enough money to eat. Suddenly, amid the storm's roar, Amaka heard a faint cry. It was like a whisper, soft but desperate. She stopped near an old bus stop, her heart pounding. Was it a ghost? Or maybe a lost animal? Curiosity pulled her closer, like an invisible string. The cry grew louder, coming from a wet cardboard box hidden under the bus shelter. Amaka's hands shook as she lifted the soggy lid. Inside, wrapped in a dirty cloth, was a tiny baby. His little face was red from crying, and raindrops mixed with his tears. He couldn't be more than a few days old. Amaka's eyes widened in shock. Who would leave a baby here, in this storm? She looked around, but the street was empty. No one came running. The baby wailed again, his small fist waving like he was fighting the world. Amaka's mind raced. She had nothing, no family, no money, no home big enough for two. But something deep inside her stirred, like a warm fire in the cold rain. She remembered her own hard life, orphaned as a child and left to fend for herself. "Shoo, little one," she whispered, picking him up gently. His cries softened as she held him close, rocking him under her wet shawl. The rain kept falling, but Amaka couldn't leave him. What if he died in the cold? She thought of taking him to the police, but stories of lost children vanishing in the system scared her. No, she decided right then. This baby needed love, and she had plenty to give even if her pockets were empty. She named him Chidi, meaning God exists, because finding him felt like a sign from above. Back in her shack, Amaka used her only dry cloth to wrap him. She boiled water on her small stove and made a simple pap from cornmeal, feeding him carefully. Chidi's eyes looked up at her, trusting and innocent. But as she lay down that night, with him asleep beside her, doubts crept in like shadows. What if someone came looking? What if she couldn't feed him tomorrow? Amaka's heart twisted with fear and joy. Little did she know, this baby was no ordinary child. Far away in a shiny mansion, a powerful man named Chief Nnamdi paced his office, his secret weighing heavy. He had paid someone to abandon his own son, born from a mistake that could ruin his empire. The scandal involved a woman who threatened to tell the world, so he made the baby disappear. Chief Nnamdi stared out at the rain, wondering if the deed was done. His heart felt cold, like stone. But in Amaka's shack, warmth bloomed. As Chidi cooed softly, Amaka vowed silently, "I'll protect you, no matter what." The storm outside raged on, but inside, a new storm was brewing, one of secrets, sacrifices, and unbreakable bonds. What would happen when the truth clawed its way out? The next morning, Amaka woke to Chidi's hungry cries. She had no milk, so she rushed to the market, begging neighbors for help. An old woman gave her some powdered milk, but whispered warnings, "Be careful, girl. Abandoned babies bring trouble." Amaka nodded, but her resolve grew stronger. Days turned into weeks. She worked harder, carrying Chidi on her back while selling fruits. People stared and gossiped. "Is that your baby?" they asked. Amaka smiled and said yes, hiding the truth deep inside. But one night, a strange man lingered near her shack, watching. Amaka's skin prickled with fear. Was he looking for Chidi? She held the baby tight, her mind swirling with questions. The man's shadow vanished into the darkness, but the suspense hung in the air like thick fog. Amaka whispered to Chidi, "We're in this together." Little did she know, the man's visit was just the beginning of a tangled web that would pull her into a world of wealth and danger. As months passed, Chidi grew chubby and smiled often. Amaka's love for him was fierce, like a lioness guarding her cub. But money was tight. She skipped meals so he could eat, her stomach growling like thunder. One day, she found a small gold locket around Chidi's neck, hidden in the cloth. It had initials, WT. Her heart skipped. Who was WT? The mystery deepened, making her wonder if Chidi's past would come knocking. Chief Nnamdi, meanwhile, buried his guilt in business deals. His wife and 2 children, Ada and Emeka, lived in luxury, unaware of the secret brother. But whispers started in the shadows, rumors of a missing child. Nnamdi squashed them, but fear gnawed at him. What if the truth escaped? Amaka sang lullabies to Chidi, her voice soft but strong. "You'll be great one day," she promised. But as the chapter closed, a letter arrived at her door, an anonymous note saying, "The baby isn't yours. Return him or face trouble." Amaka's hands trembled. Who sent it? The suspense built, leaving her, anew, wondering what danger lurked ahead. Amaka stared at the note, her heart racing like a drum in a festival. Return him or face trouble. The words burned into her mind. She crumpled the paper and hid it, but fear clung to her like wet clothes. Chidi played on the floor, babbling happily, unaware of the storm brewing. Amaka scooped him up, holding him close. "No one will take you from me," she vowed, her voice fierce but shaky. In the grand halls of Chief Nnamdi's mansion in Ikoyi, the air smelled of money and power. Nnamdi sat at his massive desk, signing papers for his oil company. He was a giant in Lagos, rich, respected, feared. But his secret ate at him like termites in wood. 2 years ago, a young woman named Ezin had worked for him. Their affair led to Chidi's birth, but when Ezin demanded marriage or she'd expose him, Nnamdi panicked. His empire, built on lies and deals, couldn't handle a scandal. So, he paid a shady man to abandon the baby far away. Now, reports came that the man had failed, rumors said the child lived. Nnamdi slammed his fist. "Find him," he ordered his assistant, Mr. Okoro. Quietly. Okoro nodded, but his eyes held doubt. Nnamdi's wife, Madam Ngozi, entered, smiling. "Darling, Ada and Emeka are home from school." The children, 15 and 12, hugged him, but Nnamdi's mind was elsewhere. Guilt twisted his gut. What if they learned of their half-brother? Back in the slums of Ajigona, Amaka worked tirelessly. She sewed clothes by day and sold akara at night, Chidi strapped to her back. Neighbors helped sometimes, like Auntie Bose who watched him. But the note haunted her. One evening, as rain pattered again, the strange man returned. He knocked on her door. Amaka froze, peeking through a crack. "I'm looking for a lost child," he said, his voice smooth but dangerous. Amaka's pulse thundered. "No child here but mine," she lied, barring the door. He pushed, but she shoved back. "Leave us alone." Chidi cried inside, sensing her fear. The man smirked. "You'll regret this." He vanished into the night, leaving Amaka trembling. Who was he? Why did he want Chidi? Days later, Amaka found another note, "He's not safe with you." Panic surged. She decided to move, packing their few things. But where? Money was scarce. She skipped more meals, her body weakening, but Chidi thrived, walking now, saying no mama. His laughter was a light in the darkness. Chief Nnamdi's world glittered with parties and deals. At a gala, he overheard whispers, "Did you hear about Nnamdi's secret child?" His face paled. He confronted Okoro. "And this?" Okoro hired more men to search the slums. One night, they spotted Amaka fleeing with Chidi. A chase began through narrow alleys, rain slicking the ground. Amaka ran, heart pounding, Chidi bouncing on her back. "Hold on, my boy." Shadows pursued her. She ducked into a market, hiding behind stalls. The men passed, cursing. Breathless, she escaped to a friend's hut further out. There, she cried, hugging Chidi. "I promise, I keep you safe forever." But doubt whispered, how long could she run? Years slipped by like sand. Chidi grew to 5, smart and kind. Amaka taught him letters from old newspapers, sacrificing sleep for his lessons. She worked 3 jobs, her hands calloused, body thin. "Mama, why are you always tired?" Chidi asked one day. Amaka smiled through tears. "For you, my love." Nnamdi's empire expanded, but cracks showed. His son Emeka skipped school, wasting money on parties. Daughter Ada argued, demanding more luxuries. Nnamdi yelled, but inside, he thought of the abandoned boy. What if Chidi was better off? Guilt shadowed him like a ghost. One day, Amaka found the gold locket again. She opened it. Inside, a tiny photo of a man who looked like Chief Nnamdi. Shock hit her. Was Chidi his son? The realization chilled her. If true, danger was closer than ever. She hid the locket, vowing silence. But suspense built. Okoro's men closed in, spotting her at the market. Amaka sensed eyes watching. That night, as Chidi slept, she whispered her vow again. No matter what, you're mine. Far away, Nnamdi dreamed of a crying baby, waking in sweat. The shadows of his sin grew longer, threatening to engulf them all. As the chapter ended, a knock echoed at Amaka's new door. Her heart stopped. Friend or foe? The question hung, pulling you deeper into the mystery. The knock was soft, but it jolted Amaka like thunder. She tiptoed to the door, peeking out. It was Auntie Bose, her kind neighbor. Amaka, I brought some Gary, she said, handing over a bag. Relief flooded Amaka, but suspicion lingered. Thank you, she whispered, closing the door quickly. Chidi stirred in sleep, murmuring Mama. Amaka sat beside him, stroking his hair. How much longer could she hide? Time flew, and Chidi turned 10. He was tall for his age, with bright eyes that soaked up knowledge like a sponge. Amaka enrolled him in a free community school, walking miles each day to get him there. She worked endlessly, cleaning houses, washing clothes, selling pure water. Her body ached, but seeing Chidi read books made it worth it. Mama, I want to be a doctor, he said one evening, eyes shining. Amaka's heart swelled. You will, my son. But sacrifices mounted. Food was scarce. Amaka gave Chidi her share, pretending she wasn't hungry. I ate at work, she'd lie, stomach growling. Nights, she lay awake, pain twisting her insides. Chidi noticed. Mama, you're too thin. He shared his small portions, but Amaka refused. Eat, so you grow strong. In Nnamdi's word, luxury had wrought. Emeka, now 17, crashed cars and partied wildly. Ada, 20, shopped endlessly, ignoring studies. Nnamdi scolded them, but his own guilt weakened him. You have everything, he shouted. But whispers of the secret child grew louder. A journalist snooped, and Nnamdi paid to silence him. Okoro warned, Sir, it's getting harder to hide. One stormy night, Amaka collapsed at home, feverish from exhaustion. Chidi, scared, ran to fetch water. Mama, don't leave me, he cried, holding her hand. Amaka awoke quickly. I'm here, Chidi. That moment bonded them deeper, his fear mirroring hers. She recovered slowly, but vowed to fight on. Chidi excelled in school, winning prizes. Teachers praised him, this boy is special. But bullies teased him for being poor. Orphan boy, they jeered. Chidi fought back once, coming home bruised. Amaka hugged him. Strength is in your heart, not fist. Inside, anger boiled, at the world, at Chidi's unknown father. A conflict arose when Chidi found the locket. What's this, Mama? Amaka snatched it. Nothing important. But Chidi's curiosity sparked. He dreamed of a rich man calling him son, waking confused. Subconscious whispers hinted at truths buried deep. Nnamdi's empire faltered. A bad deal lost millions, and betrayal from partners stung. His children demanded more, blind to his stress. In a weak moment, Nnamdi confessed to Okoro, I regret abandoning him. Okoro's eyes widened. Find him, sir. Nnamdi hesitated, then nodded. The hunt intensified. Amaka sensed danger. Strange men asked about a boy with a locket. She moved again, to a tinier shack. Chidi complained, why do we keep running? Amaka evaded. For a better life. But lies weighed heavy. Emotional peaks hit when Chidi's school needed fees for exams. Amaka sold her only necklace, her mother's heirloom. Tears fell as she handed it over. For your dreams, she told Chidi. He hugged her tight, vowing, I'll make you proud. Suspense peaked one night. As Amaka worked late, Chidi alone heard footsteps outside. He hid under the bed, heart thumping. The door creaked open. A shadow entered, searching. "Where's the boy?" a voice growled. Chidi held his breath, fear gripping him like ice. The intruder left empty-handed, but left a mess. Amaka returned, horrified. "We must be careful," she said, pulling Chidi close. Who were they? The question burned. Years blurred. Chidi, now 18, earned a scholarship to the University of Lagos, the same as Ada and Emeka. Amaka beamed with pride, but worry not. "Be safe," she warned. Chidi nodded, unaware his words were colliding. Nnamdi heard of a brilliant slum boy joining uni. Suspicion stirred. "Check him," he ordered. As Chidi stepped into the grand campus, eyes wide, the shadows closed in. What secrets would unravel next? Chidi stepped onto the University of Lagos campus, the sun glinting off tall buildings. It felt like a dream, a hymn, from the slums, among rich kids. His bag held old books, but his mind buzzed with excitement. "This is for you, Mama," he thought, remembering Amaka's sacrifices. She had waved goodbye tearfully, hiding her fears. Classes started, and Chidi shone. In lectures, he answered questions perfectly, earning nods from professors. "You're a natural," one said. But not everyone was kind. Ada and Emeka, Chief Nnamdi's children, noticed him. Ada whispered to friends, "Who's that poor boy?" Emeka sneered, "Probably cheats." Chidi ignored them, focusing on studies. He made a friend, Tund, who shared notes. But subconscious pulls tugged, Chidi felt washed. One day, he found the locket in his pocket, where Amaka had slipped it for luck. Staring at the photo, a strange familiarity hit. Who was this man? Back home, Amaka worried endlessly. Work was harder without Chidi's help, but pride failed her. Letters from him brought joy. "Mama, I'm top of the class." But rumors reached her, rich folks asking about a boy like Chidi. Nnamdi's suspicion grew. Okoro reported, "The scholarship boy matches the age, sir. From the slums." Nnamdi's heart raced. "Watch him closely." Spies followed Chidi, noting his kindness, helping classmates, volunteering. It mirrored what Nnamdi wished for his own kids. Conflict erupted in a debate class. Emeka argued lazily about wealth, but Chidi countered brilliantly, "True riches are in the heart, not pockets." The class applauded, humiliating Emeka. "You'll pay for that," Emeka muttered. Later, he tripped Chidi in the hall, spilling his books. Slum rat. Chidi stood tall. "Jealousy won't make you smarter." Ada, curious, approached Chidi. "You're different," she said. They talked, and Ada felt drawn to his compassion. But guilt hit, her life of ease versus his struggles. "My father is Chief Nnamdi," she boasted. Chidi froze. The name matched the locket's initials, CN. "No, wait, WT in the summary, but now Chief Nnamdi." Adjusted, the locket said NT for Nnamdi Thompson. Emotional depth came when Chidi called Amaka. "Mama, I met rich kids. They have everything, but seem empty." Amaka's voice cracked. "Remember where you come from." Tears fell, she missed him terribly. Suspense built at a campus event. Chidi won a prize for best essay on family. As he spoke, "Family is love, not blood," Nnamdi attended anonymously, heart twisting. Their eyes met briefly, a spark of recognition. Nnamdi fled, shaken. Emeka plotted revenge. He spread rumors, "Chidi's a thief." Chidi faced questioning, proving innocence. Hurt, he confided in Tund, "Why me?" Tund urged, "Fight back with brains." Amaka visited campus once, awed. "My boy, here." But spotting a spy, she hurried away. That night, she dreamed of losing Chidi, waking in tears. Nnamdi confronted his guilt. "Is he mine?" he asked Okoro, ordering a secret DNA sample. Okoro stole Chidi's water bottle during a game. Chidi sensed the net tightening. Strange calls came, "Who are you really?" He shrugged them off, but fear grew. One evening, walking home, shadows followed. He ran, heart pounding, escaping narrowly. Back with Amaka on break, he shared worries. "Mama, something's wrong." She hugged him, hiding her knowledge. "Stay strong." Result arrived at Nnamdi's desk, positive match. Shockwaves hit. "My son," Nnamdi whispered. But how to claim him without ruin? The revelation loomed, suspense electric. Nnamdi stared at the DNA report, hands trembling. 99.9% match. Chidi was his son. Guilt crashed like waves. He had abandoned him, but now fate brought him back. What have I done? Nnamdi paced, empire crumbling in his mind. Ada and Emeka must never know, or they'd hate him. Word spread fast. A journalist, tipped off, published, Chief Nnamdi's secret child. Lagos bust. Chidi read the news in shock. "Me? His son?" He confronted Amaka. "Is it true?" Tears streamed as she nodded. "I found you, raised you. You're mine." Chidi felt torn, anger at Nnamdi, love for Amaka. "Why didn't you tell me?" Had deepened their bond, but conflict raged. Emeka exploded, a slum brother. "He'll take our money." Ada was conflicted, "He's nice, but our father lied." They turned on Nnamdi. "You ruined us." Family dinners became battles. Amaka was thrust into spotlight. Reporters swarmed her shack. "How did you raise him?" He shielded her face. "With love." But fear gripped, would they take Chidi? Suspense peaked at a press conference. Nnamdi admitted, "I made a mistake." Cameras flashed. Chidi watched on TV, fist clenched. "Mistake. I was thrown away." Emotional storm hit when Chidi met Nnamdi secretly. "Why?" Chidi demanded. Nnamdi wept, "I was scared." Chidi's heart softened slightly, but anger won. "You don't know family." Ada reached out to Chidi, "Brother." They talked, sharing pains. Emeka plotted, hiring thugs to scare Chidi. "Stay away." But Chidi fought back, bravery shining. Amaka collapsed from stress, hospitalized. Chidi rushed, "Mama, hold on." Her weak smile, "I'm proud." Tears flowed, her sacrifice hit hard. Nnamdi's empire shattered, lawsuits, lost deals. He begged forgiveness publicly. Society judged, untouchable no more. Chidi chose sides, staying with Amaka. The hospital room smelled of medicine and worry. Amaka lay pale, but her eyes lit when Chidi entered. "My son," she whispered. He held her hand, heart aching. "You gave me everything." Outside, reporters waited, but inside, it was just them, their bond unbreakable. Nnamdi visited, hat in hand. "I'm sorry," he said to Amaka. She glared, "You threw him away." "I picked him up." Nnamdi bowed head in shame. Chidi watched, emotions swelling, hate, pity, curiosity. Empire in ruins, Nnamdi lost homes, cars. Ada and Emeka fled, bitter. "You're on your own," Emeka spat. Nnamdi alone, reflected, wealth meant nothing without heart. Chidi graduated top, speech echoing, "Family is sacrifice." Crowd cheered, including a changed Ada. Emeka sulked, but seeds of regret grew. Suspense in a final meeting, Nnamdi offered inheritance. "It's yours." Chidi hesitated, subconscious pulling, riches versus love. "No," he said. "Mama's love is my fortune." Nnamdi nodded, broken but relieved. Amaka recovered, and they moved to a small house Chidi bought with scholarship money. "Our home," he said. She smiled, tears of joy. Nnamdi sought therapy, rebuilding humbly. He sent anonymous help, but Chidi knew. Forgiveness came slowly, maybe one day. The story touched Nigeria, books, talks on true family. Chidi became a doctor, honoring Amaka. Their love proved, blood fades, hearts endure. In the end, as rain fell softly, Chidi hugged Amaka. "Thank you," she replied, "always." The circle closed, leaving warmth and thought, what defines family?
Thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more amazing stories. Click the video on your screen to keep watching. Another great video story is waiting for you.